So we are not, let's say, we don't want to have a war. We don't want to become enemy, but we are protecting our borders.
This is Max reporting for journalist.org. Today I'm here with a local from Kaliningrad, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Please introduce yourself really quick.
So I'm Oleg, I'm living in Kaliningrad. I was born actually in Kaliningrad, and my family is living here. It's a third generation. Actually, my daughter is the fourth generation of Russian people which are living in Kaliningrad.
You actually said there's a Russian generation living in Kaliningrad, but this city used to be German, right?
Yeah, before the Second World War it was a Königsberg, it was Eastern Prussia, but after the Second World War it became a Soviet city which were named to name of Kalinin, and still it's Kaliningrad.
Who is that Kalinin guy?
Kalinin, he was a Soviet leader, one of the head of the government from the Soviet Union. And actually, he never been here on this territory, but the city has his name.
All right. So, how does the Russian generation handle the German history which is also still present in this area, right?
Yeah, that's right. Kaliningrad is a city with a mixture of different culture, Russian, Soviet, and German. And actually, of course, during the Soviet period, which was for more than 70 years, or not more than 50 years, we have a lot of buildings constructed in the Soviet style, like grey concrete buildings without any style. But concerning the German buildings, we have a lot of districts, we have a lot of small towns which preserve the history. And actually now we are on the seaside of the Baltic Sea, and in one of the most beautiful places on the Baltic Sea, it's Zelenogradsk. It was named Kranz in German times. And there is a central park of the city which is still preserved, and there are a lot of German buildings. So actually we would like to develop our own history and culture, but on the basis of what we have here, on the basis of best architectural standards which were done by Germans.
Mm-hmm. So I have a few questions about Kaliningrad in general. It's a separated territory from the main Russian territory. So what differentiates these two territories?
Well, let's see. We are on the edge. We are on the edge of Russia. This Kaliningrad region is the most western part of Russian Federation. We are detached from the mainland of Russia, so we have no common borders with Russian Federation, and we are inside the European Union. It's happened that Lithuania and Poland are our neighbors, and we are keeping good relations with the neighbors as well. But if we are talking about the difference between Kaliningrad people and Russian people, there are no so much difference between them. We are speaking the common language, the same language, and we have a common understanding, we have a common legislation, we have a common currency. So, but Kaliningrad people, of course, they are more traveling to European direction than to Russian direction. Or if they travel to Moscow, to St. Petersburg, actually to the capitals of Russian Federation. And they are bringing a lot of, let's say, European sense in the cities, in history, in culture, actually in social life.
Right, so I'm here one more time with Oleg, and he just told me some interesting stuff about the history between the German philosopher Immanuel Kant and the history between him and the city Kaliningrad. So, what can you tell me about it?
Well, the Immanuel Kant for Kaliningrad is one of the heroes, let's say, one of the legends. And actually, every year we have international forum with a lot of international philosophers which are coming here. So his philosophy was based on imperative, categorical imperatives, which means that he is creating new kind of philosophy, and it was very discussable. It's happened that Immanuel Kant was not only German and East Prussian, but he was a part of time he was a Russian. How it was happened during the 7 years old war, Russian troops came to Königsberg, and he was one of the citizens who swear on the Bible that he will be a Russian citizen. It means that the Russian Empire in that time was quite successful, but after a very short period of time, this city of Königsberg were passed to the Germany back. So we can say now that Immanuel Kant was not only a great philosopher, he was both German and Russian. For this territory, it's really a good legend just to keep memories and to live in this place knowing this story.
Mhm. How does his philosophy impact the kind of Russian school and teachings here in Kaliningrad especially?
Well, I was studying in university, and after finalizing it, I decided to write PhD work. And all of the students, which are PhD students, they need to prove that they are good in philosophy. And we have a huge element of these philosophical schools of Immanuel Kant, which we were studying. And for me, it gives a lot of, let's say, internal discussions inside myself. What is the real world outside, what is the world inside us, and how these two worlds are connected. So it was quite interesting. At the same time, I was thinking about Immanuel Kant as a person. He never left Kaliningrad, Königsberg. He lived all of the time in Königsberg. So he was born in Königsberg and he died in Königsberg. His grave is still in Cathedral of Königsberg. So, and with this, let's say, local life has so wide spirit and wide mind that it's unbelievable. Actually, every Sunday he organized brunches with Burgermeister of the city, with rector of University of Kantiana, and they had a lot of discussions about philosophy. They have a lot of discussion about culture and social life. So, and they gave a lot of information to each other. So it was quite of impact for his behavior and for his life and for his, let's say, science.
Mm-hmm. So I have a few questions about the politics in Kaliningrad. How is it managed? I mean, it's as we already noticed, it's a different territory.
Yep.
And so, do they have like a special political hierarchy compared to the main Russian territory?
What I can tell you for sure, Kaliningrad region is changing. It's changing in mentality, in social life, but it's also changing in politics. If we are talking about our governor, he is 30 years old, 30. Just he's very young, motivated person, and he would like that Kaliningrad region become as most powerful and so on the edge of Russian Federation, that it will be real window to Europe. That's why we have a policy, new standards of relations with people. It doesn't matter if it's foreigner or this person has come from other Russian regions, but the politics is quite open. And we would like that our neighbors, like Lithuania, Poland, Germany, they create the same politics to Kaliningrad region, to mainland of Russia. And I suppose that this trip from Berlin to Russian Federation, it gives a lot of opportunity to German people to see what is the real life in Russia and how Russian people are felt. So there is no bears on the street, there is no a lot of snow, there are people which are smiling, there are people which are speaking foreign languages. And this new Russia, it's Russia which I like very much.
Right. And there's a situation developing in the last couple of months and I think also years where there are European troops, NATO troops that are being deported to the Lithuanian border. Mm-hmm. So how do the Kaliningrad people feel about that?
Well, I'm speaking a lot with foreign companies, foreign investors, which would like to invest in the Russian Federation and Kaliningrad region, and they are always asking me about one question: what about the army? What about the troops? Yes, we have a Baltic fleet on our side, and actually, it's normal when the troops of your country, national troops, are located here. It's nonsense when international or foreign army is on your territory. It means something different. So we are not, let's say, we don't want to have a war. We don't want to become enemy. But we are protecting our borders. And the most important thing for foreign investors, for tourists, that the Russian Navy, which is located in Kaliningrad region and which is quite positive to everybody, and to our neighbors and to local citizens, and they actually it's kind of instrument of protectionism in the territory of Russian Federation. So unfortunately, we are not having a lot of common now. But before we have, for example, we have common trainings of Baltic Fleet and NATO army on the Baltic Sea. And for us, it was kind of attraction to see American, European army and in Kaliningrad region, as well as Russian soldiers. They were working all together. So we would like that people and soldiers will work all together in common, not to be separated and not to divide borders, which are actually useless.
All right, thank you so much for your insight.
Yeah, my name is Alla Ivanova. I am a Minister for International Affairs, International and Interregional Affairs of Kaliningrad government.
So what do you have to do with this special initiative, and how do you handle it as a local politician?
So that's a good event for us, and it's important for us to understand that in Europe there are different people with different sort of politics, and there are people who want to keep friendship and peace with Russia, and that's a sign for us that there are such a people.
All right. So how does especially the Kaliningrad region react to troops stationing in Lithuania, for example? You already talked about this peace.
That's things which I think nobody would love to have at their borders, and it's happened for, let's say, for the second time in our history. So, but we keep calm, and because we're sure that the friendship should win at the end of all these battles and struggles. So we should live in peace.
Right. So is this something that is concerning the general public?
Probably not, because we're a bit. We still remember that we live in one country with Lithuania, for example, and Latvia and Estonia, and nobody really expressed some threats from this territory. But the understanding that that's troops of the whole NATO, for some people, it could be disturbing.
All right. No.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Thank you very much.
And thank you for coming.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Thank you.